tape pulled across. That's it, they're called in. Open Racing, the 2026 Knockanard fixture commences with the 2.5 mile 4-year-old maiden, and as they go to the first of what in this contest will be 12 fences and about 2.5 circuits, they come over number 1 safely. Flick of the wrist disputes the early running with Well Achieved. These two make the climb for the first time, followed in the third spot by Dark Dominion. Further back on the inside then in 4th place we got Buck and a Quarter, and the three who are held up in a slowly run first quarter mile are the likes of I Like It, also held up the Bus's Order, and another one out the back door there as they come over this fence on the outside is Persian Palace. So they've all taken the first two safely and are about to head up to the judge, from which point they'll have 2 laps and 10 more fences to jump. Derek O'Connor, who's won this race for the last 3 years, is in front here aboard Flick of the Wrist for the McManus team. Alongside him in second is Sean Dahl's runner, that's Well Achieved. They are 1 and 2. Well Achieved partnered by Jamie Scallon. The white and red check colours are those of Dark Dominion and Dara Allen, who's up there in third. 4th place in the royal blue, red and yellow for Jimmy Kelly's team is Buck and a Quarter, who is tucked away in midfield. The horse trained just down the road there, the Cashman runner, in the beige and royal blue. In 5th place is Persian Palace, and the two held up, Big Goff's I Like It, and at the back of the field for the Leahy stable is the Boss's Order. So they're racing around this top section adjacent to the parade ring area, and they're about to travel towards the fence, which will bring them down the hill into the back straight. And the 7 runners are covered by about 6 lengths, with now Well Achieved a clear leader by a couple of lengths as they take this fence. So jumping it, Well Achieved goes on by 4 lengths now. Into second spot comes Dark Dominion. The third position is then held by Flick of the Wrist, followed in 4th place by Buck and a Quarter, and then Persian Palace in turn followed by I Like It and the Boss's Order. So they're about to come down now to the spot from which they started a circuit ago. Got about 1.5 miles to cover. 8 more fences to jump in this 2.5 miler for the 4-year-olds. Flick of the Wrist on the level has come back up to join for the lead with Well Achieved. So Flick of the Wrist, Well Achieved go toe to toe to this next fence. Moving through on the inside then into 3rd spot is Persian Palace for James Murphy, followed by Buck and a Quarter. And then 5th on the outside is Dark Dominion. The two at the back of the field, I Like It in the hands of Harry Goff. And our back marker there is the Boss's Order. So they're past halfway as this group of 7. We started with 7. They're all still going now as they're turning in for the penultimate time on this climb now to the fence before the winning post. Back to lead, Derek aboard Flick of the Wrist. So Derek O'Connor, Flick of the Wrist from Jamie Scallon and Well Achieved. All 7 are jumping nice and safely and measuring their fence as well at the moment, but the pace may be cranked up as they head into the final mile. So Flick of the Wrist is just in front from Well Achieved. These two hunted up then in 3rd spot on the inside there by Persian Palace. Moving in company with that one are both Dark Dominion and between horses Buck and a Quarter. 6th of the 7 runners as they travel on to this next fence. I Like It and the back marker is the Boss's Order. This is the 5th last fence in the Tattersalls Cheltenham Festival Sale 4-year-old maiden, and Well Achieved. Jamie Scallon gives it a squeeze and has gone on now into a 3-length lead. He's trying to up the ante a bit now. Flick of the Wrist is in second. Not much to choose for 3rd place between Dark Dominion, Persian Palace and Buck and a Quarter, and then I Like It continues to bide his time in 6th, followed by the Boss's Order. So they're turning now to level up in the back straight and take the fence at the top of the hill. Well Achieved is still 2 to 3 lengths to the good from Flick of the Wrist. Well Achieved, Flick of the Wrist, Dark Dominion, Buck and a Quarter, Persian Palace. I Like It will take it in sixth, and still in last place there is the boss's order. So the 7 runners come down the hill. They're running along now with 3 fences left to jump, and on the run down to this fence they're really tightening up, and almost 3 in line now, well achieved, moving right through to challenge in the noseband is Booking a Quarter. That one in the hands of John Barry. Derek O'Connor drops back to third aboard Flick of the Wrist, and then Persian Palace just gets shivied in fourth. I Like It is next, then comes the boss's order, and the back marker away from that fence is Dark Dominion, who's lost his pitch. Here they come now to the second last. Well achieved, taken on now by Booking a Quarter as they rise at this one. Well achieved, Booking a Quarter. They go on from Flick of the Wrist, who's been punched along, back in third by Derek O'Connor. Persian Palace is in fourth, and this quartet have drawn clear then from the boss's order. Dropping out is I Like It, who's been passed now by Dark Dominion, who's gone into sixth. But at the head of affairs and travelling strongly in front is Well Achieved. Jamie Scallon put pace at the race about a mile out, and he's trying to draw the sting out of the opposition, and it looks like it's going to work. Well achieved over the last Flick of the Wrist is getting a renewed run for Derek O'Connor on the wide outside. Dropping away is Booking a Quarter as Persian Palace stays on, but as they go to the finish, Well Achieved is in front from Flick of the Wrist, who's launching a late bid as they go to the line. Well Achieved and Flick of the Wrist. It might just have been Well Achieved, but it's a photo finish officially between Well Achieved and Flick of the Wrist, who came home well. A promising run in third also from Persian Palace, who wasn't beaten that far, and they were clear in turn from the next 2 across the line, which were the boss's order and Booking a Quarter. So a photo finish to our 4-year-old maiden. The 2 involved, the 15 Well Achieved and the 6 Flick of the Wrist.
And the result of our first race: first number 15, second number 6, number 13 was third, and number 9 was fourth. That's 15, 6, 13 and 9. And your distances were a neck, 2 lengths and 9 lengths. That's a neck, 2 lengths and 9 lengths.